Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about these Latinos. They're still going on videos and begging us to get involved. And I'm looking at a lot of things and saying, for what? Get involved for what? I thought we had really bad divisions at times, even among our people, but I'm starting to think their divisions are far worse, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see here. Oh, now what happened here? All right, let me see if I can pull up this article. All right, here we go. All right, let me see if I can get this up on the screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So this article actually came out January 23rd, 2026. All right. And what it talks about is how Donald Trump is rising in the polls among Hispanics and Latinos. So you mean to tell me while ICE is snatching y'all off the streets, you still got a bunch of Latinos that are looking at that and still backing Donald Trump? Then why are y'all all over videos crying for the Black community to get involved? It seems to me that your problem is among your people. Their division is pretty bad. I was like many people. I thought, oh, yeah, the Latinos, they show a lot of unity. No, they don't. No, they don't. Actually, they are very divided. Anytime you can look at footage and a big bulk of the ICE agents are Latino men and they're running around here rounding up their own people, that says it all right there. So you don't really need to be addressing us at all. You need to be addressing your own community because anytime they can watch their people get kidnapped on the streets and still want to be ICE agents, or you got people in your community that are watching this and still getting behind Donald Trump, then your problem is internal. That's what you really need to be dealing with. You shouldn't be addressing us at all. So, y'all are supporting Donald Trump in double digits? I mean, that's pretty bad. That says a lot about Latinos. Y'all really truly are a lost group of people. and you got the nerve to look down your noses at us? But one thing I don't like for our people to be involved in ICE, but one thing I can say, you don't see a lot of our men running to become ICE agents. Are there some? Yeah, but it's not overwhelming like it is with the Latino men. It's nothing like that. So y'all are ready to sell each other out at a drop of a dime. But I tell you what, after watching the way they voted and watching how they are talking and addressing everybody on these videos, they're crying like they kind of got stuck in this situation. No, y'all really did this mess to yourselves. You went and voted against your own best interests. And now you turn around and you want someone to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for the Somalians either because they are another group that voted against their own best interests. And now they're sitting around screaming racism. No, y'all are a bunch of scammers. Y'all are a bunch of scammers. But, you know, no, after looking at something like this, we shouldn't say anything to these Hispanics and Latinos beyond you need to address your own people. Your problem is within your own group. And after seeing this in 2026, oh no, nobody is wrong for saying that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Block. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Well. Read it and week. I post a receipt so you guys can't say that it's fake. This was from Newsweek actually, which is pretty moderate, in most terms, but yeah. So this is your typical liberal here trying to figure out what's going on. We know that, the Democrats spent millions of dollars trying to figure out why don't real men vote for us? Why did we lose Latino vote? And it's really simple. I live in South Florida, come to South Florida, and they'll tell you if we can't legally, we spent the money for the attorneys. We waited to our embassy interview. It took us years. We waited for years. We worked for years and can't legally. It is unfair to us to see all these people come across the border and get all these handouts. They hate it. They can't stand it, and that's why they still vote for Trump. No need to worry, wonder, or anything. 43% increase. That is amazing. And 24 percentage.
I'm gonna be the one to say this, and I'll take the backlash. But some people in our Latino community están pero rete pendejos. And I'm gonna give you an example. There's this video of this Latino dude in North Carolina. His name is Willie. Out here crying on camera because ICE pulled up on him after he voted for Trump. I swear to God, Latino Trump voters gotta have a special mental condition going on, thinking that we're gonna get honorary whiteness just because they voted for Trump on election day. Like, bro, como te explico? Your accent is deeper than the Grand Canyon, and you really thought Trump was gonna look at you and say, "Oh no, not him. He's one of the good ones." Yeah, they didn't. Instead of that, DHS rolls out Operation Charlotte's Web on November 15th, 2025. And I know what you're thinking. Charlotte's Web, isn't that the Piggy movie? Sounds friendly, right? Wrong. It's an immigration crackdown. They said they were going after the worst of the worst, the criminal illegal aliens. Same shit they always say. And Willie is shocked Pikachu face. He's like,
he said he got to catch the delinquentes, criminals. Yeah, and right now he don't follow the criminals. He go to specific to Latino people. Why Latino people? Because in the last Saturday example, behind to me, I see the white people, the black people, and some people, Indian people, and Chinese people, and me. The DHS come specific to me.
yeah, no Sherlock. We've been telling you this. This man is acting like the government did a surprise twist ending. Like, bro, this is not a plot twist. It was literally in the trailer. And he says he regrets voting for Trump 100%. He's like,
and Willie, you told me that you voted for President Trump in 2024. Do you regret that decision? ¿Te arrepientes esa decisión?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you regret that decision?
That's because it's nothing that's true. It's not true.
and honestly, I feel bad for him as a human, pero como comunidad latina, muchos están bien rete pendejos. Neta, they really thought Trump was going to deport those other Latinos coming in. Literally, you're closing the door on the people coming after you, thinking you're the white man's favorite minority.
Who's Hispanic here? And we're building an amazing future for citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed. And that's what we have. That's what we have. The best is yet to come.
Never call me a person of color. I'm black. The overarching term person of color or POC has always been null and void in America because there is white America, black America, and then everyone else. And you find that the other people under the umbrella of POC are just as anti-black as white people. I put up a conversation on Threads talking about Latinos and how they voted for Trump and how they're voting against their own self-best interests, and they think that aligning with the white is right, white American people in this country will save them. And they're learning very quickly that Trump is inputting all these policies and wants to enlist the US military to start the mass deportation progress. And I made a simple comment and I said, don't look to black people for allies. And he said, don't look to us for allies. And I said, first of all, black people have never looked to anyone else in this country for allyship because this country has always been a black and white space and you guys are the in-between new people. And that's just the reality of race relations and the makeup of this country politically and socioeconomically. Even though black people in this country experience racism, classism, oppression, and we have done since our inception in this country, white people know that black people are American. So we're never other. We're never going to be deported. We're never going to be somewhere else. They're not looking to us to say, oh, we're the other. Black people are never the brunt of immigration problems because we are inherently American and they know we are American. So when I say don't look to black people for allyship, it's in the form of us fighting for civil rights for ourselves continuously since the 50s, and you benefiting from those rights. You benefiting from the ability to come into this country and have a closer proximity and adjacentness to whiteness because we are the ones that fought for immigration. We're the ones that fought for non-white people to have rights, bank accounts, homes, vote, the list goes on. And per America and how they have a certain disdain for black people, when the civil rights movement happened and when the mass influx of immigrants happened, when massive amounts of Cuban immigrants came to America, do you know Cubans were given loans? Cubans were given preferred jobs. Cubans were given business loans to start businesses. Why do you think Miami is so heavily Cuban? And why Cubans have been so successful is that in spite of Black Americans that have always existed in Miami, the government gave Cubans preferential treatment in starting the development of Miami. It wasn't because they preferred you. It was because we'll rather give anything to someone who isn't black than give the power to black people who recently just got rights under the law. So, like I said, while you may think proximity to whiteness will help your cause or will help your place in this country, you will always be seen as other. You will always be seen as Indian, Mexican, Asian. You will never be seen as American, because in the heart of heart of the conservatives and liberals and Democrats and everybody white in this country, they know that white Anglo-Saxon people and African American people, descendants of slaves, are American. Take that in for what you will. I hope you and your family have the life you deserve after voting for a man who does not have your best interests at heart. And check the fact that you guys think that white proximity is correct, when you will never be seen as white in this country, and you will never be seen as American in this country. Ciao.
I'm seeing some misplaced anger from some Latino people coming out saying, oh, black people, you need to be out there with us, front line, standing with us in solidarity. We did. We stood with y'all in that voting booth. Black people voted in solidarity against that man. I'm not saying this is not our fight. What I am saying, we stood up for y'all when y'all didn't stand up for yourselves. Matter of fact, let me show you something right quick. This is from American Society, Council of Americas, who got their data from the Associated Press, as you can see right here. 42% Latino voters cast a ballot for Donald Trump. Y'all are house divided. Now, to compare, 81% of black folks voted for Kamala Harris, actively voted against this, what's happening right now. So I'm not saying don't be upset, but maybe direct it towards your own kinfolk, your own skin folk first, because we stood with y'all in that booth.
Do I regret voting for Donald Trump? 100,000 times yes. The mass deportation that is happening, I mean, the unconstitutional rights that are happening, all of the AI bills that are being signed right now. I mean, I can go on and on. The banning of different countries from coming into America, that was my last straw. And I think a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump also say the same thing.
I have to say, I'm not going to lie. It absolutely baffles me that you voted for someone and you never looked at his first term. If you did look into his first term before voting for him, you would see that all the things that you were complaining about, he enacted in his first term. You would also see that he ran on the exact things that you're complaining about.
I hope y'all don't get mad at me for this, but I regret my vote. And I know what you're going to say. Well, you didn't regret it when he was making fun of the disabled community. You didn't regret it when he was threatening the people of color and the black community. You didn't regret it when he was increasing hate crimes against the LGBTQI community. Or you didn't regret it when he was changing the narrative of who literally started a war. Or are you going to say I didn't regret it when he increased hate crimes in both of his terms? Or his ignorance during COVID that cost us thousands and thousands of lives? Or I didn't regret it when he bends over for Israel and Russia? Or I should have said something when there's literally a recording of him bragging about essaying women, or I could have caught a clue maybe during the felonies, or the way he speaks about his daughter, or maybe just the way he talks about people in general, like the way he talks about Democrats. That should have gave me a clue how he was going to treat people in general that did not bend over for him. But alas, I must admit, it wasn't until it finally hit that it could be my children that go to war that I decided I regretted my vote. That's how dumb some of y'all sound, just saying.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans or for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood?
To the Latinos that voted for him, you will never, and I repeat, never be white. You will never be accepted as one of them. And you certainly are not exempt from the racism that is this racist ass regime. When that lady put in her post, alligators' lives matter, and she mentioned a number, that number being 65 million. Do you know how many Latinos are in the United States? Approximately 65 million, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Approximately 60 plus million people. So guess what? They weren't just talking about the illegal immigrants, because data actually says that there are 10 to about 12 illegal, undocumented folks in the United States. They're talking about you. They're talking about people like us.
Hey guys, welcome back again to the YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking. When you saw this video, so a lot of Latinos are now waking up to everything that Black Americans warned them about. They are now realizing that they made a huge mistake voting against their own interests, the mass deportation, the everything that been happening, the cost of groceries every other day.
Donald Trump, and now that they're getting deported, I think, go ahead, Donald Trump, you voted yourselves out. You voted your family members out by voting him in. You thought that it was only going to be los negritos, the ones that look like me that were going to be, deported, okay? And no, see, I know a Cuban guy. I knew a Cuban guy up until last week. His name was Usnavi. And if you know Cubans, there's always one of them named Usnavi. When your name is literally spelled out U.S. Navy and you have U.S. agents cuffing you, y tú ¿qué pasó? Que te vas pa'l carajo ahora, eh. And this dude was a janitor, but janitor in New Jersey, you can make a lot of money. He had a pickup truck. Él tenía su banderita gringa, tú me entiendes. He was very proud to be an American. Come to find out, que te enviaron pa' Cuba de nuevo. It's hilarious, and at the same time, it's upsetting. I've always gotten along con lo que no son niega raza. You know, the people that are Latin, Caribbean, that don't deny their blackness. ¿Por qué? Because our ancestors over here in this country used to hang together. You understand? Julio Roldan, 1970. Look it up. The information's out there, all right? Cubans, you got that movie Scarface, and it just put you on another roller coaster of a ride in your mind. Te creía que the world is yours, chico? No, it's not. And by the way, Al Pacino ruined that movie, and he ruined Carlito Way playing a Puerto Rican. And it wasn't me, by the way. I did not see Usnavi and say 1-800 hielo, 1-800 make the drinks cold. It wasn't me. It just so happened to happen that someone in his workplace didn't like him. They ratted him out. They got him at work. Okay, that's crazy. It's
Y'all, he's not lying. I even went to look that up. They name their children U.S. Navy, us Navy. And I was like, are y'all for real? No, there are Cubans. He's not lying. There are a lot of Cubans with that name, us Navy. And what it is U.S. Navy. And they've made a name out of that and gave it to their children, us Navi. Are y'all for real? Y'all some crazy ass people. Us Navi? Oh man. No, he's telling you the truth. They made a name out of US Navy and give that name to their son, us Navi. I've heard it all now.
insane porque he thought that they were only going to get the ones that didn't work. Motherfucker, they coming after you because it's easier to find the ones that are working than the ones that are not working. When people aren't working, you don't know where the they at, okay?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, he made me laugh, but he's got a point. Like, people really forget, they weren't voting for their own interests. And I just think that now that it's coming to bite them in the butt, now they're mad and they're trying to blame everybody and they're confused. They don't know what to think. And I'm like, it is what it is. I don't know any other country, and I said this before, where they would allow illegal immigrants to stay in their country illegally. They're going to deport you or put you in jail or whatever the processes are. They're not going to just let you stay there for the rest of your life and live out and take resources from people who pay into society. I don't think that that's fair, and no other country allows it. Let's continue.
When people at work, it's easy to find them. Así que te cogieron. And I went to kindergarten. I'm sure most of us did. And I was always taught that the color orange meant danger. Cuidado, por ahí viene algo. Green meant go, ¿verdad? Pero since forever, orange has always meant stop, drop, precaution, mira para los lados, something's happening. So I would never vote orange. It could be another orange person that goes up and they want me to buy vote. No way, you orange, bro. I don't trust the color orange. That's the sign of a
Oh man, I got the Hispanics back on my page now. Where y'all been at, man? Since Trump got in office, and I done made a couple videos about y'all. Y'all been gone. I ain't gonna lie to y'all been gone. So now y'all come from the ashes to talk to daddy. Here we go. Mexico actively defended black people escaping slavery from the U.S., refusing to return them, and even fighting slave catchers as Mexico had abolished slavery and considered freedom seekers as citizens. Now, come on now. Why y'all always tell this lie? Y'all don't never tell the full context of this. I'm gonna make it plain and simple because I don't want to get into it right now. The freedmen, people that escaped slaves, the black Seminoles, and other black native black indigenous, other indigenous black Americans helped y'all because y'all getting y'all ass kicked. Y'all getting y'all ass kicked during the war, and y'all say, God damn, man, we see how these black folks fight, man. We need to get them on our team. We came, we helped y'all win, and we conquered. So thank us for that. Thank us for that. It wasn't no because y'all feel sorry for some niggas in America. They're like, okay, let's free the slaves. Let's free the black people. Come on, black people, come to Mexico because we see how white mommy and white dad is treating y'all. So we're going to be nice as Mexicans and free y'all. No. So let's move that to the side. Now, where y'all been at, man? I ain't been seeing a lot of Mexicans and Hispanics and Spanish-speaking people on my page lately. Where y'all been at? How's things going for you? How is things going for y'all? Now, I know as you listen to me right now, you looking out the window, trying to see who's seeing you through the window. You know what I'm saying? I know it feel like somebody watching you. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I know it, but listen, check this out. Now, Mexicans, Hispanics, Spanish-speaking people. Now I know y'all grew up with this metal la raza spirit in y'all. Y'all want to be white so bad. But this time, white people is got the eye on y'all. And how does it feel, my Hispanic people? How does it feel? I just want you to think about this, my Mexican friend. All your life, you wanted to be white. All your life, you worship white people. All your life in your mind, you think you're white. How does it feel now that the people that you worship, the people that you love, is sending your black abuela or your pop back over there? How does it feel? How does it feel seeing that right now? That's what I want to know. I always wanted to know that. How does it feel? All these years, all these decades on this land, y'all been the most anti-black people on this land besides white folk. Now y'all getting y'all Hispanic wake-up call. How does that feel? Just think about it. All the anti-blackness in California, how y'all do my people, and none of y'all speak out against it. All the anti-black racism out there on the East Coast, y'all never spoke out against it. And all over the United States, on how y'all align with whiteness. Even in the prison system, y'all join the Aryan Nation, bro. Even in police departments on the West Coast, y'all got your own little gang to go against black people. And you got the gall to come at me and lie to me about some slave, how y'all abolish slavery. You know the sad part about that when y'all abolish slavery? Y'all unalive the person that look like me, that's dark as me. Because y'all want to be close to white. How does that feel right now? Y'all only, I think, Mexicans ain't number 300, 400 years old, so how does that feel? How does it feel to knowing that you will never be white? How does it feel that white people will never accept you? How does it feel that you were this close to being a white mommy and a white daddy? How does that feel? Talk to me. How does that feel? Now, I'm not bullying. This is not hate speech. These are just questions I'm asking. How does it feel? Cause it gotta suck looking at yourself in the mirror every day knowing you will never be them people. That's a hard pill to swallow. Hey, metal la raza, and this be your time to fight against white folks, because I'm gonna ask you this question too. When have your people collectively gone against white folks? Y'all never did. Y'all bow down to them. Y'all worship them. Y'all want to live like them. Some of y'all even claim Caucasian. Some of y'all look Caucasian, don't even want to let nobody know that you Hispanic or you one of them people. It sucks, don't it? That identity crisis is creeping up, man. That identity crisis is coming to a head. You ever had a boil before? You ever had a boil? When that boil come to the head, it's painful. That's how I feel right now for y'all. It sucks, don't it? But listen, y'all got it easy, though. Y'all just getting put in cages. Ain't nothing happening to y'all. They not unaliving y'all. They barely even beating on y'all. And y'all can't even take it. I think, you know what I think the problem is? Your feelings hurt. Your feelings hurt. And I understand. I can understand you. Like one time, I'm going to tell you something. This is my favorite rapper of all time, Gucci Mane. I remember I ran into Gucci Mane back in 2009, right? Saw him at the concert. I had backstage passes and everything. And I was like, man, I can't wait to meet Gucci. As soon as I met Gucci, man, Gucci looked at me like I wasn't shit. That's how y'all feel right now. That feeling I had, how Gucci looked at me, and I still listen to him to this day, but how I felt just didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? That's how y'all feeling right now. How white folks treating y'all right now. And it sucks, don't it? I know it sucks. Ooh, I know it sucks. I know it sucks. I know it sucks. This is so funny. I ain't bullshit. I enjoy this shit.
With all this shit going on with ICE in America right now, we got one group of people who we should blame. It's fucking one group of people, and that's their own people, the Latinos who voted for Trump, especially the 58% of Latino men who voted for Trump. Y'all the reason this shit is going on right now with ICE. You can't blame the black people. You can't blame the Hispanic women. You can't blame white women. You gotta blame Latino men who thought they was getting no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, and thought they was finna live a better fucking life by voting for Donald Trump. They the ones to blame. That's it. Latino men is the reason their neighborhoods are getting terrorized by ICE. But it seems to me nobody putting the blame on them. They the ones, 58% of them voted for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. They are the ones to blame for this ICE shit. You can't blame us. You can't blame nobody. But guess who's out there fighting for y'all rights? Once again, it's black people, it's white women, and it's Latino women out there fighting for y'all community when the men, 58% of them, decided to go in that voting booth and vote for Donald Trump. They the ones to blame, y'all. They are the ones to blame. And I'm going to keep saying it because I tried to warn these dudes at the job sites. I tried to warn these dudes who was playing in my basketball tournament that you're making a big mistake. But no, they looked at that black lady like they was racist, and they picked the racists that's terrorizing their goddamn hood. So I don't want nobody to blame nobody but the Latino men who's supposed to stand up for their community, who's supposed to stand up for their people, winning that motherfucker and voted for him. And now they whole cities and towns are being terrorized at their jobs, workplaces, at their schools, car washes. It's them. It's them. And I'm going to keep saying it until it gets into all their ears that they the ones, they the problem. They the cause of all this shit. That's Latino men, y'all. And it was 58% of their ass who did this to their own fucking community.
Trump's approval among Hispanics surges in recent polling. This is the data point no one wants to talk about because it shatters a political assumption that has been treated as unchallengeable for decades. Movement and approval among Hispanic voters directly challenges the narrative that has been sold as settled science. The political class insisted demographics were destiny. They claimed voting blocks were permanent. They believed loyalty could be assumed rather than earned. And for years, they acted as if outcomes did not matter as long as the rhetoric was correct. That assumption is no longer cracking, and it is cracking loudly. This is not about Republicans winning over voters with slogans. It's about voters walking away from a party that stopped delivering results and insisting on obedience. Calling it a warning shot or call it reality check, either way exposes a truth the political class does not want to confront. No group belongs to any party by default. Loyalty is conditional, And when outcomes improve, assumptions collapse. That is why this data point matters. Not because it guarantees anything, but because it proves something fundamentally. Americans are not owned, and when treated like citizens instead of categories, they vote like it.
Okay. You know, y'all, I really wasn't feeling sorry for these Latinos, but after looking at that Newsweek article, I am done. I am done. I, y'all should not be addressing us. Please don't get on no more videos addressing us when you know you got a major, major problem among your people. That's where your videos should be directed to. Whenever you're out in the streets, just remember I'm getting picked up by ICE because my people voted for Donald Trump. My people voted for this. My people are the biggest ones, other than white people, joining ICE. See, that's what should be going through your head, not us. Not us. You shouldn't be thinking about us at all. Period. You know, look for Usnavi and get him to help you. I can't get over y'all name your kid, you naming your son's US Navy. Woo! I've heard it all. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Deeply appreciate your support. And don't forget to stop by Etsy, Shopify, and TikTok shop for 30% off of your hair growth butter. That's available up until the 8th of February. All right. And we're going to, because some people been asking about the shampoo, we're going to do a shampoo sale real soon. I just got to get time to put it together, but we will do a shampoo sale real soon. So, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And again, thank you for your donations. I did receive some today, and my Gibson Go is still short, but it's getting closer and closer to the goal. So, thank you for everything, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you again on a whole different topic. Shalom, family.